What does the movie mean to you, Sabrina? This is a question I get often because I often talk about the movie and the illusion that is happening out here. And it's a fair question to get because when I first heard that, or when I first resonated with that, I was like, oh, it just makes so much sense, right? There is, like, I looked up actually on Google the different parts of a movie, right? And the first one is the exposition, I guess, is to show what this movie is going to be about, which is us, which is all the scenes and the actors in the movie and the directors. And then there's a rising action that happens, and the climax, the falling action, and the resolution of a movie, right? Of a blockbuster movie, which we are in right now. So this week I'm going to explore that, and we're going to, and we're going to navigate, like, I'm going to try and help you navigate these outside energies that were inevitable, because that's why the star seeds are here on this earth, is to move through these energies and to be here to hold humanity high in the highest frequency level. Hello, my beautiful warriors of love. My name is Sabrina, and welcome to this Let's Talk. So I already put out a little 1-minute reel about this, but I was looking at the whole bits of the movie, and I'm like, okay, everything is starting to make sense. Yeah, I was flipping between putting the pandemic, like the 2020, what happened in 2020, onto as the climax. But then I'm realizing I think that was just the rising action, right, of this movie. This was like the build-up to get people to that had to move into massive fear mode, right, to get to this place, this climax energy, which is what is happening right now. And if you're coming here and it's 2026, this is 2024, and right now there is conflict within the world. And, a lot of people, even spiritual communities, are claiming this to be the WW3, right? So all this to say, and then there's the falling action, right? Which is the star seed, the light worker, the human. Because we're all souls in avatars, we're all souls in meat suits, we're all souls in these human bodies having human experiences. And we are here at this time to do exactly this, to be in the falling action and resolution stage. We were here for the whole thing, but we've trained for this, people, for this very moment in time. So people, I'm gonna be all over the place because that's how I speak. I'm all over the place, and my Mercury's in Gemini, so we can blame it on that. But really, I want to put your mind at ease here, because you're going to encounter much fear out there. It is part of this program that we are cancel, clear, deleting, but it's part of a program of a never-ending loop of fear. And it's been happening for eons of time. If you go back into his story, we could see that, right? We could see, this was like, if you just take a period of time, an era, and you can look at, that was the rising, that was the climax, that was, okay, next, right? Everything's a movie. But we're here to flip the script. That's the way I see it. Starseed is here to change everything in a blink of an eye. And I'm going to tell you a little thing, is that when the starseed, actually the one, come together and they do flip the switch, there will be no recognition. There will be no accolades and awards. There will be no praise to us. There will be none of that. And you got to be okay with that. Because that's not where we're here. We're not here for the praise. That's the ego. The ego wants to be like seen. Look what I've done. Look what we do. Like this is how I reached it. And the starseed is like, this is the mission. That's why every year, that's why I said in 2012, when at the end of the Mayan calendar, all the souls on the planet were asked, would you like to leave the earth eventually when the rising action, when the climax begins, or would you like to remain and further your mission? And there is nothing wrong with the starseed that said, hey, I'm going to get the F out of here, right? There's nothing wrong with it. There's no right or wrong. It's like, okay, you don't want to stay? Okay. Then you move on to the next. And so a whole bunch of new souls have entered. And how have they entered? They've entered in as your children. Right? As of 2012. A lot of you have children that are in their 20s, in their late teens, that are very alert, because everyone is here on a mission. And it's to navigate these harrowing and horrific energies. The scenes are horrific because you watch the news and you see it, and it's a constant reminder that you are so lucky and you're so privileged to be in this world, in this Western, and look at the Eastern world and look at how horrible it is. Try not to play in the narratives. I'm not saying to ignore it, because people will also approach me and they're like, "Why what does ignoring the narrative do for you?" I said, "Well, what is putting your energy into the energy do for you?" Right? There's like, is there a right or wrong? And there's a neutral side to it. It's like not turning your blind eye because it's happening. The movie is playing its scenes. It has to play its scenes. It has to collapse. This is the thing. We talk about the matrix collapsing, the destruction of the matrix. We talk about this, but how did you think that the collapse would occur? It's going to occur in a destructive way, because that's what the human knows, and that's what the human has been playing out for its whole life. We are a physical being on a physical land. That we are the mirrors of the earth, right? We are the mirrors of Mother Earth. So when the human, who is the mirror of Mother Earth, is upset, it lives in fear, is in the lowest frequency ever, is scared, is pointing fingers, is blaming, is shaming, is judging, it's manipulating, it's like in full ego mode. Mirror, Mother Earth, is reacting and responding. That's what it is. And that's that realization moment that you get when you're a starseed, a light worker, a soul in a human vessel. You say, oh, I am the mirror of her and him, Mother Earth and Father Sky and Mother Water, right? And Father Sun. I am the mirrors of these beautiful, natural, cosmic forces. And yet I continuously watch the news, and I continuously live in fear, and I continuously follow other people's rules, and I continuously mistrust myself in all of this. I don't give myself, my soul, my higher self, the God self, credit, love, recognition. I don't recognize my God self. I can recognize the leaders, the actors, the actresses of the movie, but I don't realize I am the director of my own movie, of your own movie. And this is the disconnect. And this is showing up more and more and more. And as the climax rises and rises, right? You see it, oh my God. And then where are you going to feed your energy? On the Armageddon, on the end of the world, on the collapse of, like the energy that is bringing us to destruction? Or are you going to focus on love? I'm here to hold the grids. I'm here to hold and show and share and be love. That's all. And be the light. And hold the dark and be the dark. But in the highest form of frequency and the highest consciousness ever. Right? Light and dark, polarity, it's the same shit. Just in two different words. Stop thinking dark is a bad thing. Love the dark, right? Love the narrative that's happening. Love it, but don't fall in it. Don't fall prey to the low frequencies that it is projecting. And this is like a huge thing, and I have talked about this in the past, but now it's coming up in the field in a very big way. And I was given lots of messages, which I should actually bring you my book and share that message with you, because it's a big one. It is, why do you think you are here? Was the question that was asked to me. Did you think you were here to create the project, to get that job, to be in those like silly relationships? Those are for me, right? Like, no. Your mission is a star in the body, holding the earth as it collapses, saying goodbye to Maya, which is the old earth, and saying hello to Gaia, the new. You are here to bring us into the next experiment, not to hold on and attach to this world. And a lot of us will say, well, what do you mean everyone's going to go away? Not everyone is going to go away. Not everything is going to just like, oh, that's it, it's a whole new world. But we have the capacity and the power to change it all in a blink of an eye. And I've been told that over and over again. One day the humanity is going to wake up and it's going to be a whole new world, and they will have forgotten all that fear and all of that. And that's why you're not going to get recognition for it, but you're just going to say, okay, good, next experiment. So I've been saying this for years now, that there will be flooding, and that I knew this maybe, let's see, we're 2024, 2 years ago, I would say, maybe 3. Anyways, for me, because some of you might have known this for longer, for me, I just caught on to that resonance a few years ago, where I was told, do not move to the coast. Do not move to the coastline. I had in my heart, I wanted to move to Malta, which is a little country in the middle of nowhere, off of Africa and Italy. And I was like, I'm going there, and I'm going to live there. And I was like, absolutely not. At one point, it was absolutely yes at one point, but then it was like no. Like by 2018, it was like yes, go. 2019, go. And then I got no. And I'm like, okay. And I knew that there was going to be flooding, and I knew that there was going to be whatever. And I may have shared it with people, and they're like, what hasn't happened, Sabrina? Like, what are you talking about, right? So, and I'm like, okay, it's just a message. Me too. I don't know. Things happen. I get messages, and they don't happen right away, and they happen in like 5 years from now, right? So that's the trust. And you see now there's a eruption of water and flooding in the world, but it's normal, because to me, I always say to myself, human mirror Mother Earth, emotions, flooding, right? Like there's a heightened emotions in the world of anger and sadness and that. Well, it has to equate to something. Flooding, tsunamis, volcanoes. Volcano would probably be more anger in the world, like everything has its purpose. And war is anger and hate and side picking, and that's what we see right now. I am floored by humanity every time, and I say they fall for the same story every single time, whether it's like you're choosing a president of your country and choosing sides and wrong, blame, shame, and come on, people. You know, we're all star seeds. We're all together. We are all one. Do you just think that in certain countries there's no star seed there? No, there is. So you're just going against your own? The warriors of light that are in that country? Like, come on. Like, this is what the program has been set to do. To divide the stars on this earth. To divide the light. And we fall for it. And we like stand up for the rights of the human by following the isms and by following the narratives of some other program. And it's like, this is the moment, people, where you step outside and become the observer a little bit more, and you start to look at things and look at the movie and say, wow, okay, there's a falling action and a resolution. So now what? Do we rely on the same people who are constantly bringing us to the climax every single time? To having the result that they have more money and corruption and power? And do we still remain here year after year after lifetime after lifetime? It's the same freaking story. Lifetime after lifetime. And there's a point in the story that you go, okay, change is necessary. And how do we change if we continuously follow the same freaking narrative? And we continually fall into fear. Fear, false evidence appearing real. It doesn't even exist. Doesn't exist. Fear is not real. Fear is pushed into us by outward sources that create this low frequency. Right? So it's like, it's fine and dandy. I talk about it, but how do we get out of it? Yes, I know. It's not that easy to get out of it. It's like, okay, like, it's not to get out of it either. It's just to recognize it and be aware of it. You know, last week I talked about TAP, trust, awareness, patience. This week, let's talk about TAP, truth, acceptance or authenticity, and power. Truth, alignment, and power. Like, come on, like, let's do this. We have to take the responsibility and the accountability of this earth and this mission. And by not playing in it, but what about the people that are dying? And yes, we send compassion to our fellow souls that are perishing in this because of these malignant parts of the movie. But at the same time, can you find it in your heart to honor their journey? That they chose this. You know, like, I chose the journey where I would have to go through death and suicide. And I would have to have that all in my life. And a house burning down in front of my eyes. And all this crapola. Like, you chose a journey to be abused emotionally, verbally, sexually. You chose a journey to be hurt, to be, all of it. You chose this journey, and that's the trigger. It's like, what do you mean I chose the journey? Yeah, we chose this freaking journey because we are souls, ultimately loving, full of love and peace, that knew that we came to have this experience and knew that we needed to bring, like, everyone who's the exodus of humans from this earth in whatever situation they found themselves is not to be victimized, which is there's a lot of that has happened in this lifetime. They have came here for a reason, and they chose to leave the earth at that time. And if we continuously victimize them, but then you victimize yourself, you keep the frequency in the lower realms, in the lowest frequency, not realms, but the like, I don't know how to use it, tones, hertz, whatever it is. And it's like our job is to keep this planet in the highest of frequencies. And by doing that is to accept and love the whole planet, and accept and love every single country, every single religion, every single political party, everything. Because that, to me, is saying an F you to those who have created a program of destruction, who have created a program of power. But we are the power. And here we are playing like small, like little NPCs, non-player characters, background actors, our whole lives playing these little victims. And we're not. You're the power players, the Power Rangers, right here. Come on, man. This is like, it's so clear to me, and every time I see it. So last night, I turned on my computer, and I follow this spiritual guru. And I sat there for 20 minutes watching him fall into the narrative. And I was like, wow, man, was this a lesson for me? 100,000%. I was sat there and I was like, is this guy for real? He is talking that this is going to be the last, probably the last session together, because tomorrow we don't know. The internet will go down, and the global mass destruction weapons. Well, I was like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Like, what the hell? And I sat there, and a little bit, I was in 5-second fear mode. In 5 seconds, I actually typed in Russia and Israel for 5 seconds, and then I freaking deleted it, and I deleted it from my watch, from history, and I deleted it from everything, and I sat there in silence, and I'm like, what is going on here? Why is he talking this way? Mr. Spiritual, like enlightened human. What is this? So it was a lesson. It's like you fell into fear for 5 seconds. You freaking moved into that one real fast and walked right out of it. And you realize that that's not the way it is. And I was like, okay, so there's going to be a lot around you that will, I don't know why, but baby, it's part of the narrative. You need to catch yourself and trust the heart. Trust your heart and trust the soul and trust the voice that's not putting you into fear mode, but that is like saying, hey, don't worry about this. This, like, think about 2020. This is how, like, like if you think about 2020, it's like, it's all of a sudden gone. Boop, 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 like a blink of an eye. What happened to all that fear and all that? It just like, boop, by 2022, everything was gone. And now there's this another scenario that's going to come up. I personally, Sabrina, do actually believe that there is going to be a moment of full collapse of the matrix. And if it happens with this, so be it. But can you honor the lives that are returning back to God? Can you honor the land that has to take on all of this destruction? Because the land is us, right? The land is the mirror of our physical body. Can you honor the forces that are creating the destruction? Because it's necessary to move into the new. Because how else do we move into a new? We cannot. It's like, how do you move into a new relationship, or how do you move into a new job if you don't get fired or quit? Right? It's like It's like it's a simplistic form. Or you don't have a big blowout, a climactic breakup with your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife. To get into that new relationship, I had to break up, or else I would still be with him or her. Right? So, right? So, this is what's going on here. This is the earth, people. This is a collapse of everything we know. And how do we move through this? We don't ignore it. We send compassion to it. Everyone. We don't point fingers. We don't blame, shame, victimize ourselves. We don't do this because we are love. We are the product of God, creator, source, energy. The cosmos, the galactics, the Ascended Masters. You know, the Ascended Masters are all here. The team of angels and archangels. Everyone's here in support of this collapse. And in knowing that, yes, this ain't going to be pretty, but how else are you going to move into the new? And this is that moment of awareness that we stand in it and say, okay, I'm aware of this, and what is an actionable step that I can do is to sit and emanate love to every single human, place, thing, entity, ideology, whatever it is, because how else do we raise the frequency if it's not for love? For all. Because we are all it. We're all the one anyways. So that's the message of the week. It's a big one. It's one that I have talked about many times before, but I see it coming up, and now it's here. The movie is blowing up. You know, it's going to I basically said everything I needed to say. I just write like, woo. And there was another thing, because I had actually recommended this spiritual guru guy to one of my soul tribe members. And she texted me the next day. She goes, yo, the first video I see is like gloom and doom. I'm like, yes, I know. It's crazy. But she gave me some interesting insight. She said to me, you know, Sabrina, I was like, I played the comparison game, you know, I often, and I look at his videos and I say, oh, I'm not as spiritually awakened as him, or maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way and maybe I should be, you know, and I was like, perfect. The comparison game. I can't compare myself with him and her or anybody, because this is my mission. This is your mission. This is his mission, and this is her mission. Right? Jesus Christ had a mission. Buddha had a mission. All of them had a mission. And you're here. There's no, I need to be here and I need to be more awakened. And at that moment, I was looking at this guy and I was like, yo, man, I'm so much more awakened than that. Like, what the fuck? I'm not falling into the fear. I wasn't panicking. I was ready for it. To me, I was like, oh, okay, this is it. Even if we blow up the next day, I said, who cares? Like, I'm playing Sabrina. My soul is gonna leave the planet. I'm gonna go see my sister and my mother and everybody. I'm like, yo, no worries here. And it's not even about that. Even if you have nobody in the other, you have so much. You have a soul family. That's the thing. It's like, to me, I think one of my biggest revelations, I guess, was accepting death. Acceptance of death, because I don't fear death. If whatever happens and I don't wake up the next day, I know I'm waking up somewhere else in a much more peaceful environment. Right? So that's the thing. So and that fear of death is part of your programming. Cancel, clear, delete that shit, man. There's no point in hanging on to that. And religion will keep you in fear of it, you know, and all of these ideologies keep us in fear of it. All of our education keeps us in fear of it. Release it. And that is so like heart opening, because I literally sat in front of that computer going, wow, for the first time in a long time, except for those 5 seconds that I typed that in, I was like feeling at peace with myself. I said, if I go to bed right now and I don't wake up in the morning, I'm okay with that. Because this is just a movie. And this is just the end of the movie. In the end, the resolution of this movie is that we move into the next. And we are there standing in support of each other, of one another. And I don't want to look at the evil and the corrupt and the cabal and all this crapola. I don't want to focus on that. It doesn't bring anything to me. It just lowers my frequency to think about that. And I used to be like that. I was always like focus on that, I'm not focusing on that anymore. But I'm not focusing on love and light. I'm focusing on light and dark right now. And I'm loving both of them. So that I can higher the frequency. I can be, that little part of me can do that. You know, like to me, my goal is for us to all to just pass it on. You know, stop. Love yourself. Send out that love to everyone. Pass it on. Tell this message to someone else. Pass it on, please. Just love. Stop playing in your little, like, I know people that are like, I don't want to deal with this, Sabrina. You guys deal with it. I'm like, what does that mean? I don't even understand what that means. Like, oh, I don't have time. I'm tired. I worked really hard in my life. I just want to enjoy my life. I don't want to think about it. And I'm okay with following the rules. And I'm okay with following everyone else and what they have to tell me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. NPC to me. You're a background actor. I can't change your mind. I'm not gonna even try to change your mind, right? And it's just what it is. So I'm like, okay. It's also like, to me, it's like, okay, like, so you rather live in fear and you rather live in hate and anger and sadness and grief and all of this. And it's mind-boggling to me. But then I say, okay, you know, there'll be always that part of the world that will be in low frequency. And I knew that. And I think we all knew that too. I choose high frequency. I choose high vibration. I choose love. And not only love for myself and my family, for everyone. Everyone. If you understand what I'm saying. I'm not going to name drop things here because I don't want to be shadow banned on YouTube or anything. But every single country. We are starseeds without borders, people. We are the one who came on Earth to have this beautiful human experience, to share in the miracle, but also to hold up and serve humanity as we move through this collapse. And as we move through this destructive phase of Earth, and said, okay, I love the destruction, you know, but I am here to hold it up in its highest regard. And I accept whatever it is to happen to certain humanity, certain groups of humanity, certain countries, certain everything, and to myself, because I'm doing the best that I can in this mission. Anyways, I think I said everything I needed to say. You know, the cleanup has to happen for the old to die. The bright spots of this is that Pluto moves into Aquarius. Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn right now. It's gonna, I have ringing of the ear. What does that mean? It's like, stop talking. I don't know. I was like, Pluto will move into Capricorn for like a few days in October, and then retrograde back again, and then it's comes out of Capricorn and moves into Aquarius in November 19. So we knew this was going to happen. September, October, November was going to be crazy. A lot was going to come up to the surface. Pluto is like fighting up against Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn, which is limitation, and keep it in the square. It's corruption, all of it. This is what is happening, and it's not fun. You know, I went in and I asked, and they're like 2024, at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025 will be the climax, and the falling action will happen in 2025, and by 2026, 2027 we move into resolution. So can you stand up with me, my beautiful warriors of love, my beautiful warriors of light, my star seeds, my soul tribe, my light workers, way showers, crystal children, indigo children, rainbow children? You know, we can go on and on with all these labels. My beautiful souls on this earth, can we rise together and just send out love to all our fellow souls who have chosen to exit the earth, and all of Mother Earth and Father Earth and sky and what have you? It's all us. You know, I'm looking at this thing as it's all written in the stars. It is. And we're rewriting his story, people. So let's do this. The calm after the storm, exactly, 2026. I'm gonna leave it at that, even though I can write a really nice book here with all of this information that I have. But I'm gonna leave you here, and I thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this. This is not all like, oh, let's go into love, and this is for reals. For real. And that moment yesterday was a big moment for me, because I sat there and I said, oh, it all comes down to that. Do I want to live and partake in the low frequency of this movie? And it's a big no. I am not interested in it anymore. I've given of so much of my energy to that, and I gotta tell you that a lot of us, what we're doing is clearing that energy, and hence the fatigue. Can I just say at the end of this video my sleep has been so erratic and so not there. So one of these past nights, I did not sleep a wink. Literally, I think I slept for 5 minutes, and then I heard a loud bang, and I woke up, and they're like, "You're not sleeping." That was the message, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "What do you mean I'm not sleeping?" And they're like, "You're not sleeping." And I was told after, it's like, one of your mission is to transmute humanity's energies. We did not need you sleeping. We needed you fully awake. And I was like, what the fuck? I don't even understand. And so hence I did not sleep. So hence a little fatigue with me, but it is what it is. I've accepted my role as whatever it is. I don't 100% know what it is, and I just accept it. And I fully trust it. I really do. As crazy and whack as it is sometimes, I'm like, okay, so be it. I laugh at it. And this is how it's going to move. Like, your life will begin to change. Your jobs, your abundance, your prosperity, the same thing. Your love life, your relationships, everything will begin to change once you step outside and become the director of your movie, and realize that, okay, I'm not partaking in this anymore, and things will change. And it will. I guarantee it. And because you have so much more to offer. And there's so much more. And this all felt like very destruction and whatever, but the tower is here and the collapse is here. So in destruction is rebirth, right? And we're moving into Scorpio season soon in the next few weeks. This is the perfect time. Like, I don't see destruction as scary anymore. I actually love it. So it's just a change of perspective here. You know, change the hero's journey here. So, my beautiful warriors, again, thank you so much for listening. Share this video or just share your love, please, because this is important right now. And remember, you're not alone in this. We're all in this together. We're all standing together, and we are starseeds without borders. Remember that. It's so important to remember that, because the moment you speak ill of another human in another religion or nationality or whatever, you are speaking ill of your brothers and sisters of the light and of the dark, because we are all one. Anyways, all right. I love you, love you, love you. Check out my weekly readings. I come out with them every week. And if I didn't mention, I'm also doing, I'm adding some new perks to my Ko-fi membership, where I'll be doing a live Q&A for all the members starting November. So I'll release that date. In the meantime, you can join my Ko-fi and you can get exclusive monthly content from me. All right, I love you so much, and I'll see you when I see you.